Lección 7. Estructuras, pronombres usados como complemento indirecto. So we've spent some time on direct object pronouns. Now it's time to get to the indirect object pronouns. An indirect object says to whom or for whom an action is done. So if you recall, the direct object answers who or what. This answers to whom or for whom. Berto te prepara un sándwich. So, Berto prepares a sandwich for you. Okay, sandwich, that's the direct object. So that's what we were learning before, but right now we're learning for whom Berto is preparing the sandwich. And according to te, that means you. So as I just said, there's your direct object and there's your indirect object. An indirect object pronoun can be used in place of an indirect object. For Spanish, this pronoun includes the meaning to or for. So another example, Raúl nos trae un DVD. So Raúl brings us a DVD, and we could specify who is us if we need to, if we don't already know. And to do that, you would say a Camila y a mí, which means to Camila and to me. But if you just left it, Raúl nos trae un DVD, that's a complete sentence. It says Raúl brings us a DVD. In Spanish, the indirect object pronouns are, on the left, the singulars, me, which is to or for me, or te, which is to or for you, familiar. To or for you formal is going, oops, sorry, that goes with this one. That's kind of a confusing slide. Le goes with this one. So if you want to say to or for you in the formal sense, you're talking to somebody formal, you'll use le. But le can also be used to mean to or for him or to or for her. So our singular indirect object pronouns are me, te, and le. Nos is the plural to say to or for us. And then les is how you say to or for you, like y'all, like plural. And then to or for them, either masculine or feminine. Notice me, te, and nos. Those also are the words that we learned for our direct objects. So me, te, and nos can be direct objects or indirect objects. So it just depends on the context of your sentence to decide which you are using. Okay, so indirect object pronouns are going to precede the conjugated verb. When two verbs are together, a direct object pronoun can also be found attached to an infinitive or a participle. So an example of that second point is voy a reservarles una habitación sencilla. Okay, so I am going to reserve for them, which is the les, or it could be for y'all, this one up here, this to or for you, okay, the plural. Voy a reservarles una habitación sencilla. I'm going to reserve them, or you all, a simple room, a single room. Okay, I also could put this les in front of the conjugated verb, which is what we've already learned to do. So when you have two verbs like this, you've got voy and you've got reservar. You can either hook it onto the end of the infinitive, reservar, or you can write it as its own word in front of the conjugated verb voy. So your options would be les voy a reservar una habitación sencilla, or do as it's written, voy a reservarles una habitación sencilla. Here is, ¿estás diciéndonos que no vienes? Are you telling us that you're not coming? Okay, same thing as I was saying before. If you want to use the other option, because there are two when you have two verbs, estás and diciendo, I can put this nos as an individual word in front of estás. Nos estás diciendo que no vienes. Both of those are going to mean the same thing. Okay, that's it for indirect object pronouns. You need to practice lots and lots on this stuff. So, buena suerte y hasta luego.